has the Liberal Party lost Chinese Australian voters for good? In the 2022 election, after debacles like this,
Christina Keneally kicked you out of Fowler too.
Now she's just making things up. I mean, that's how ridiculous this debate has gotten.
Sidhu says she never sought to run in Fowler, but suggested Fiona Martin could have confused her for another Asian Australian.
and the Morrison government, combative with China,
The two leaders hoping a public display of warmth may help to thaw the frosty points of disagreement.
the Liberals lost a number of key seats with major Chinese Australian communities. This included Bennelong in Sydney and Chisholm in Melbourne, which Labor snapped up on its road to a majority. So how did it go this time round?
We are clearly seeing the Liberal Party supporter base around the community has been shrinking.
After the votes were counted, all these seats swung towards Labor. Over in Bennelong, incumbent MP Jerome Laxell increased his single percentage win in 2022 to more than 10% this time round. Labor also held on to Chisholm in Melbourne and managed to pick up Menzies. This was despite a push by the Liberal Party to regain these voters. To win back marginal seats like Reid and Bennelong, they deployed young Chinese Australian candidates like Scott Yung and Grange Chung to rebuild trust. There was also a concerted strategy on Chinese social media apps like WeChat and RedNote with interviews with Chinese influencers. To defend these seats, Labor strategists didn't attack the candidates directly. Instead, they aimed higher. Labor strategists and campaign managers told Guardian Australia that Peter Dutton was key to turning Chinese voters off the Liberal Party. The opposition was seen as too hawkish on China.
The biggest concern from our intelligence agencies and our defence agency is in relation to the Communist Party of China.
Comments like these were put up on RedNote and WeChat to turn the community off the Liberal Party.
The whole dichotomy of between pro-China, anti-China is highly problematic because it just doesn't go into any relevant issue what the community wants.
And it wasn't only Dutton. When Jane Hume accused Labor volunteers of being Chinese spies,
To go out that far on the polling booths, Claire, there might be Chinese spies that are, handing out for you.
Penny Wong went straight to WeChat.
Why is it that the Liberal Party continues to question the loyalty of Chinese Australians? And we all remember how Peter Dutton weaponised the relationship with China.
It was a horrible tactical failure to me by the Liberal Party.
Another political strategist also mentioned that it didn't help that the Liberal Party chose to preference One Nation, whose leader is famous for saying this.
I believe we are in danger of being swamped by Asians. Between 1984 and 1995, 40% of all migrants into this country were of Asian origin.
Back in 2022, the top 15 electorates of Chinese Australian communities voted against the Liberal Party at a higher rate than others.
I think that's the consensus now that many Chinese Australians just simply didn't understand a lot of their policy, how that's benefiting them.
These are some of the most marginal electorates, and the Liberal Party was hoping to regain ground here. But it seems it will take more than community candidates to rebuild the bridge.
The post-2022 kind of feedback saying that the Liberal Party need to re-engage the Chinese Australian community, that recommendation was only actioned by certain local branches or members. No evidence presented to me that the central leadership has listened.
In the end, it didn't pan out, and Chinese Australians felt their loyalty to Australia questioned time and time again. So it's going to take a lot of work if the Liberal Party wants to turn things around.